So, hello friends, in this video, we can discuss about the new exciting features of HTML5. In our previous videos, we have discussed about the HTML5 and its introduction and some about HTML. Now, there is a time to discuss the exciting features of HTML5. The first feature of HTML5 that can be newly added is new semantic elements. Therefore, some semantic elements can be added in the HTML5 to improve its efficiency. These are article, footer, section, aside, header, summary, details, main, time, figure caption, mark, figure, and NAV. We can discuss about its use and details in the next part of our lecture. So, these are some basic or new semantic elements that can be added. So the next feature is the Form 2.0. Some of you already know about it as it can be also present in HTML version 4 in which there is the use of Form 2.0 and there were some new attributes added in this Form 2.0 in HTML5. These attributes, these new attributes are color, month, time, date, number, URL, date, time, local, range, week, email, search, and tell. So all these attributes can be newly added in Form 2.0 in the HTML5 to improve the web forms and also help us to create the form very good and effective to be represent or to add the more details in our form. So then next feature is the persistent local storage. So the persistent local storage in this feature, as in HTML versions, in previous versions of HTML, there can be the use of cookies for the storage, and these cookies are very small in size, about 4 KB, or very low that does not store the more amount of data and can be stored for a very less time. So there were newly added two features that can be the window.local storage and the window.session storage. These two features are the newly added in HTML5 to improve the storage capacity of the web page while the while we can have to while we can need to store some data in our web page. So this can be two methods to store the data in our web page. The window.local storage can be help us to store data and there is no expiration date. That means we have to store the data in by using this method for a unlimited time. And the next one is Windows.session storage. In this, the data can be stored for the limited time, means one means up to when the session can be run on our screen, and as soon as the session can be closed, then these data can be removed. So talking about our next feature, which is the WebSocket. The WebSocket can be a next generation bi-directional communication technology for web application. Means there can be means web application can be communicate through the server web application on the direction of the user can be communicate to the server, and this can take the amount of time that is more during the previous versions of HTML. And in the HTML5 version we can save our time by using this WebSocket feature, that help us to communicate very better with the server by using the bidirectional communication, which is persistent. It can be very efficiently send the connection handshaking, which is also called connection handshaking, to the server. And this can be both side bidirected, and bidirected means from the server side and from user side, both side it can be very effective. Now talking about our feature 5, which is audio and video, there can be a new feature, means audio and video can be added to the HTML5 to add the or embed the audio or video without adding any additional plugins, just like the cookies can that we can talk earlier about the persistent local storage. So like that, here is the audio and video feature can be added in our HTML5 to be directly added to our web page without using any additional storage option. So talking about our next feature, which is feature 6 of geolocation, means when we want to access the user's location, or the user want to show their location, their current location, so we can add the geolocation property. Geolocation, we can use the geolocation feature and add the get current position method in our web page to access the or to represent the geographical location of the user, or anyone who can access that web page at that time. So talking about our next feature, which is server sent events. So basically there are two types of events that can be occur in our web page. Let us take an example while we working on our forms, and there is a many data that can be asked by us in the form, and when we can submit all those datas, and when we can correctly filled all those datas and submit, it can be submitted, and it is called the client side event. Matlab means the that the events that can be occur by the user can be called as client side event. And talking about the server sent event, when the server can automatically fill any of the block of our form, then this can be said as the server sent event. So the server sent events means the server automatically fill the data, or we can automatically the we can automatically get the data from the server, or the server automatically generates data for us. This can be known as server sent events. Now talking about our feature 8, which is the canvas. So the canvas is a new feature added in HTML5 by which we can draw the graphics, like lines and any of the graphics like the images, drawings by using the area that can be programmingly added in our web page by using the canvas feature. So talking about our feature 9, which is microdata. Microdata is a type of local vocabulary that we can create in our web page to understand the every detail of our web page. So we can use this feature by using some of the newly added attributes like item scope, item property, item ID, and also some others that can be properly used in our web page while defining any element. So by using this, they can be tell us the details of the every section of our web page. So in the microdata, we can say it help us to create our own way, own vocabulary through the to extend our web pages with custom semantics. So here is the example that show the division item scope in a tag called div. So there is the item scope property used to tell the scope to tell about the scope of the that division that can be created here, and in the paragraph element here the item property with the span tag can be used to tell the property of the item of the paragraph that can be a name. Here Zara can be specifically defined as the name, means we can get the Zara property as it is a name. So here we can use the item prop, means item property, which can be in the element form item prop. It is written here. So by using this, we can define each and every detail of the microdata of our web page. So talking about our last feature, that is feature 10 of drag and drop. Here by the help of this feature in HTML5, it is a very useful feature to drag and drop the any item into the web page from one location to other location very easily. So by all these features, we can be very effectively and very easily create a web pages, and we can represent the web pages very easily. So that's all about the exciting features of HTML5. So you can also get the details about it in our next videos, the upcoming videos, as or you also see the practically implemented videos into the Google or any other site that shows you how to use each and every of these features, and you also do the practicals and experience these features of the HTML5 on your own. Thank you guys.